I'm like McCuster's last stand.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
I worked in a high school for a while. I was a counselor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like I went to school for social work for a while.
So, like, what kind of counseling would you do?
Just like therapy. It was a really cool. The way they did it was like it was a charter school, and I was there as an intern because I was getting my master's in social work. So they would have interns there as therapists for the school kids, basically, so that the kids could get free therapy at school if they were exhibiting kind of problems or whatever. So,
did you ever do therapy, John, in school? Counseling?
I think our school had a psychology 101 class and they let us do therapy on each other. It was pretty, I mean, there was a few, there wasn't too much self-harm. So I think like we did pretty good.
Massage therapy? You and a bunch of dudes?
Yeah, it was exclusively dudes. If there was ever a girl in the class, they'd be like, no, can't
get out of here. No girls allowed in the massage therapy.
A lot of foot massages, a lot of inner thigh massages.
Yeah.
A lot of upper back of the thigh, lower back massages. Upper back of the thigh, also known as butt. Some people
you kind of like a little like Matt McCusker flavor.
I
right?
think I was just looking at I was looking at you, then I looked back to him and I was like, I think our posture is currently the same exact posture. Like I think we're holding our heads and shoulders the same. We're wearing almost the same thing. I'm also wearing a white t-shirt. I'm wearing a few more things.
Ooh, strip.
What?
Strip.
Oh,
it was like I worked at it was like an inner city school in Philly, and I would just go there and chill in an office, and they would just like I'd have to get kids from class, and they would just come. We would like talk a couple times a week, and then you could bring their family in if they're like they had problems at home. You could be like, all right, let's call the mom and dad.
Well, this is what this guy was talking about. This is what Tallarico was talking about. What they cut funding for.
Yeah, it's a shame because this school was like they kind of like ran it themselves. I guess they were getting funded by the state, but the way they got around it was just using interns, so it wasn't like. You're not getting like the most experienced people in the world,
but you're getting some help.
You're getting something, man.
Yeah. Well, this kid that he was talking about, like, he had this very detailed story about this kid who was like a good kid, just came from a fucked up house, and he wanted, and these people around him were the only positive influences that he had ever had, and he was starting to get better.
Yeah.
And then they took it away, and he starts falling apart.
Yeah, and dude, it's also like you forget, like, because there's like for kids when you like, especially like in a city. And kids are telling you like their lives, it's fucking heartbreaking. Like the shit, like their day-to-day setup, you'd be like, fucking Christ, man.
Yeah.
And then they're just looking at you like, what do I do? And I'm like, you gotta hang in there. There's literally nothing I can tell you to do.
Your dad is in counseling, right? Or is that the
my dad did we didn't have these in our school, I don't think. Like I'm thinking about our high school and our school counselor, not qualified to give therapy at all.
Rub some dirt on it.
Awesome lady. Like her a lot. Not qualified to do therapy. I don't know if she went to college at all, if I'm honest.
Her heart was in the right place.
Like, she'll talk to you, whatever, like chop it up. Yeah. You know what I mean? She's like, look, you want to chop it up. You come here and chop it. You could skip 3 classes and come just chat with me. So she's cool like that. But if you had like problems at home, she'd be like, what? I don't know what you should do about that. You probably should move. You should just move, honestly.
Oh man, that'll be
that mom chick who lives with you sounds like a real toxic bitch. I think you should just
what
move.
A slut.
Yeah. My dad did what is our city's version of this, which is PSR. I can't remember what it stands for, but basically
piss sucker retard.
It's exclusively for retards. So if you're just having problems at home,
a big old piss sucking retard.
That's the thing, is that's like if the insurance company would only cover it if you were retarded. So if you're having problems at home, you had to go and be like, hey, I'm retarded and I need some therapy. And they'd be like, all right,
let me suck on your piss.
But it was basically, it was just like, he'd just be like, my dad would do this thing where we would like, his job was to just like pick a kid up.
Like physically?
No, well, maybe, I don't know. Like sometimes maybe just needed a little lift.
So like, come on.
He would basically pick, my dad would go to like a 12-year-old boy's. This was his job. He would go to a 12-year-old boy's house, pick him up in his car,
canceled,
and go and take him to the park and like have a catch, or like go and take him and play frisbee golf, or like do a puzzle, or play with Legos, or something like that. It was a real creepy kind of like. It is kind of shocking that this was a
get on a private jet and fly to an island.
Yeah. Well, always only a few of them. They're pretty particular about what they want them to look like. So most of them like actually kind of don't make the cut for the private jet. But that was, and I kind of was always like, dude, you play more catch with these kids than you've ever played with me, bro. What is this?
Yeah.
You're a better dad to these stupid tarded kids than you are to me.
Always the bridesmaid.
He's going to their football games. He's like, I mean, yeah, he played one down today and he really hustled. I'm like, Dad, I'm good. I'm like the running back,
starting quarterback.
I got 12 touches for 57 yards today. That's not that good.
Damn it.
Should have mathed that better.
There's a workhorse out there. I was really grinding it out.
Workhorse back out there, and you're missing my game for this stupid idiot's flag football game.
Pass block the whole second half.
He's like, I'm just grooming him for greatness, you know? And I don't know. Anyway.
Let's see how much Matt McCusker groomed these kids.
He's got to hang in there. And like,
right.
It was sad, but it was one of like my favorite. If I didn't do stand-up, I would probably do that for a job.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was fun.
It sounds very rewarding, right? Yeah. You're actually helping people.
Yeah. And it's just like intense. You're just sitting there in a room with somebody and it's like everything they're saying, there's no like guidance. You have to just be like, all right, well, like maybe this, maybe that. And it's like I don't know. I always liked it a lot. It was pretty cool. But then you would like, you go back to the school and it's so funny. I went to,
Matt's basically like, yeah, if I wasn't doing this, I would basically do this, but like with 14-year-olds.
Yeah, kind of.
He'd like, I'd just do like a podcast. Like, you know how we just like talk like a podcast? Like maybe I'd do that, but with like 14-year-olds who, if I said the wrong thing, might harm themselves. That would be fun.
That's true. He essentially has like 3 different careers that are all primarily talking.
Just chat. Yeah, let's
like
chat.
Really chatting it up. Not like, oh yeah, I got to get on some meetings. Like, no, it's the whole thing is meeting.
Yeah, the job was done when the whole thing was meeting. Is a good way to put it. Yeah.
Social work school, just because I was doing stand-up, I was kind of kicking around. I was like, yeah, I was doing the podcast, but it was like slow going. And I remember watching Jordan Peterson be like, the schools are crazy right now. And part of me, like, I wanted to be a therapist, but I remember being like kind of curious, like, I wonder how bad they are. And I went to school. I went to my master's program in social work, which was like ground zero for all like the stuff he was talking about. And it was literally like worse than he made it out to be.
What was it like?
It was insane, dude. It was literally like, I went to school again to be a therapist, but like social work, you can be a therapist faster than if you go to school for psychology, because you just like don't need any of the science really. You just study kind of like the theory.
It's like the chiropractor of therapy then.
Yeah, you get what's called an MSW. This is what my dad has. You get what's called an MSW.
MS-13.
Yeah, you get an MSW. You have to go to the MS-13 to get it. That's the hardest part, honestly, is getting jumped into the gang, getting initiated is the hardest part. But other than that, it's just a lot of like reading.
They inject you with heroin and make you fight a donkey.
Yeah, other than that, it's mostly reading case studies, other than the donkey heroin day. And which is always on like a Tuesday too. So you got like the whole week in front of you. So you can't really recover from it, So it's like that's really the hardest part about it, I think, is that it's like, well, could we do this on like a Thursday or Friday? Maybe then I'd have the weekend, right? But you got to do it on a Tuesday. I guess MS-13 is busy on Fridays. But that is
the biggest day of the week. They move a lot of product.
Yeah, Friday's a big day for MS-13.
People gearing up for the weekend, they got a lot of plans.
And they're like, got
a good old family fun. Going to take the kids to the lake.
Friday, which in Spanish is, damn, I was hoping you would remember. Lunes, martes, miércoles.
Juárez. Mexico City.
Juárez is the city.
Guadalajara.
Guadalupe. Nachos, burritos. No, but that is what he's right. You get what's called a master's in social work and MSW, and which is what my dad has. But then you have to do like something like 20,000 practicum hours, which means you have to do therapy like under another therapist. He has to sit on top of you while you do therapy.
Oh, baby girl.
Yeah, that's a lot of hours to get sat on. Yeah, 20,000 hours getting sat on, especially if you have like if your practicum master is a heavy guy or gal. That's it's a lot of sitting. It's a lot of getting sat on. You really got to have a kink,
and whatever. So you can be a therapist quicker. It's like a shortcut kind of. But it would be like, it was just literally, you'd be in a room with like 13 other people, and they would like, you talk about whatever it'd be like, let's talk about like clinical approaches here and there, and it would just right away turn into like race, gender, who's the most oppressed, do this. And it was just like, people would tell stories like, one time this guy said this to me, and everyone like, I can't believe that fucking guy said that. It was literally like nothing. You paid 60 grand. It was like I would be terrified if I was getting therapy. And again, it's like not everybody, but there's a lot of very people would cry in class. So you'd be like talking, and like people would just start bursting out in tears, like, I don't feel safe. It was insane. I'm like, dude, you're going to be talking to people who are like homeless. How are you going to help them?
Oh my.
The homeless, notoriously mentally healthy.
Yeah. And also, one thing that is well known about the homeless is that they are very politically correct. They're very woke. They're very good at holding space for you as their therapist to make sure that you feel safe. If there's anything I know about homeless people, is that they want to make you feel safe.
Yeah, that's safety is a big priority for them. For you, they care about your safety.
Your safety. They're safe. They'll sacrifice their own safety.
Yeah. They get by on the kindness of strangers, so they really turn it around and pay it forward.
And it was all female. It was mostly female dominated. It was like me and 3 or 4 other guys. And then like people would come in because you'd bring your case files and here's something I'm dealing with. Let me get some, what do you think about this? I remember this guy was dealing with this like Vietnam vet who like, had like lived in Philly his whole life. And he was like, I was just shocked the way he talked about women. And it's like, bro, you're dirty macking your client, dude, for these chicks. I'm like, come on, man. It was just kind of weird. It was like, did he's a fucking 70-year-old dude. He's lived in Philly his whole life.
He probably stabbed Charlie in a tunnel somewhere.
Yeah, and he was just very crude about women. It's like, come on, man. Of course this guy.
That's so funny.
And by stab Charlie in a tunnel somewhere, he meant dragged a girl named Charlie into a tunnel.
Yeah, for sure. Did you know that Pablo Picasso was alive in like the 70s?
I have heard this one. Yeah. I did not know that until I also probably heard it on the internet around the same time you heard it on the internet. That was shocking to me though.
Yeah. Like that's kind of what I feel like we're at there. We have too many groups of people that they don't feel like they should exist at the same time. The new model is not compatible with the old model. You know what I mean? Like even the non-woke, like young kids, I think thinking about like a Vietnam vet, and there's even still some like World War II vets kicking around, like this different time.
Yeah.
It's literally black and white times.
This is so my dad is decent, like I think with that kind of person, because he's old. So my dad joined the military as choppers were coming in from Vietnam. Like
slap choppers.
He was in Hawaii when helicopters were like bringing people in from Saigon and stuff. And so he is like, Vietnam vets are a couple years older than him. And he got his MSW pretty late. Dude, this is how woke the therapy world is. All right. My dad, very liberal guy, right? Like he's like an OG hippie. Like he was in the 70s and 60s.
Probably setting the curve of the conservative voice in the room there.
He worked in North Idaho where we're from for a while. And then he moved to Portland, Oregon, which he moved to Portland, Oregon. And it was like he'd been a fish out of water his whole life. And he moved there and he was like, oh, this is where I belong. And he got a job there at like this kind of bigger place that like takes a bunch of insurances, and they actually like employ therapists and stuff like that. And because before that, he just kind of been like contracting. That's how most therapists work. And they're kind of like barbers, if you will. And so he got employed at this place, and he like walks into the men's bathroom one day, and there's what he perceives as a girl in there.
Nice.
And
rad.
Yeah. And this is, dude, I want to say this is like around 2014. It was a little before the curve of when that was really popping off.
Hell yeah.
And he's like, whoa, what are you doing? And he's like, what he probably perceived as like very natural reaction to seeing a girl in the men's room.
Yeah.
And she's like, I identify as a man. And he goes, well, I identify as the king of England. But if I go over there and try and sit on the throne, they're gonna arrest me. Like, and I'm like, that's how my dad is, like an original, like lifetime Democrat, very liberal dude. And he called me and he told me that. I'm like, yeah, he's like a radical right. They probably thought he went to January 6th in the therapy world. There's like freaking John around here just there. Probably he was sick that day. Where was he? That's all. That's how left it is. That's how liberal it is.
Guys, yeah, don't throw them under the fucking bus. You're supposed to be helping. That was my whole point. It was like, if you're doing therapy with people, it's like, you know, life is just so hard and so complex. And if you're going to be like, this doesn't sit with my party politics, I was like, you guys got to drop the political shit, man, and just like meet these people where they're at.
Well, there's so many guys out there that just want brownie points.
That's what dude, he's exactly what it was. I was like, dude, I know what you're doing right now. You're dirty macking this guy. So you can be like, personally, I was offended. I'm like, dude.
Oh, those guys are the worst.
This is everything, though. This is not now because this is how I feel all the time in any corporate type of environment at all. It's all the same exact dynamic as that, what they just described. Just that part.
Well, yeah. So that dynamic.
Everybody turns a little bit more Captain Save-A-Ho, and then as soon as they see somebody who does something like a little bit too awesome, they're like, "That guy's being too awesome. Look over there. He's saying too many cool things, and let's pile up on him." And then that person goes, "Why you guys like? I just like awesome stuff." So
so guys, dudes who are in like female-dominated spaces, like therapy or social work,
creative strategy.
So that where they're like clearly just trying to smash, I respect that a little bit more. I'm like, look, we all got our moves, man. I get it, right? Yeah, like
that's fair.
I don't love your game, you know, like you seem like kind of a foul baiter if you ask me. But hey, you know, if it gets you buckets, it gets you buckets.
Better than a masturbator.
You know, I'm not. That's your game. I would never play that game. I'm a little bit more of a pure player than that, if you know. But that's up to you. So I can respect that a little bit more. What I don't like about like the corporate environment is that a lot of times it's not even that. Like they're not even really trying to smash. They're just trying to like be like have a certain appearance or status, or they think it will help them like climb the ladder or whatever. And to be fair, maybe it will, but like
it feels like
maybe it's a guy trying to smash. I'm like, I get it. Yeah, all right. Like, and Matt's kind of like, I see what you're doing. You're kind of dirty macking this guy to like get in with this girl. And I'm like, yeah, I see that too. And I would probably see that and be like, don't love it, but I can respect it. Like, all right.
You know what it is? It's like still even as like woke or like kind of feminized as like a dude could be in today's world and in the corporate world and stuff. Like a dude still has a pretty good idea of what it's like to get punched in the face. He probably has been, but if not, like he's roughhoused enough to know that that's a real possibility and he doesn't want it at least. And I think women don't really have that effect. They just don't operate that way. And it's always obvious, but it's especially weird when they do have the power dynamic kind of thing. Cause they operate like, you know what I mean? Like they can be way more authoritarian and stuff. I don't know. It's a very weird dynamic. And I think those spaces get kind of runaway, get kind of scary because the dudes do start acting like, because what we're talking about in like the corporate environment or like what they're talking about in the therapy environment, it's similar to like how dudes act when they're afraid they're going to get beat up by somebody. You're worried about the repercussions so much, and like you really
you're just trying to be like the Mr. Get Along, Mr. Fun guy.
You don't see that. I just don't think you see that usually as much in females, where they're kind of a little bit more. They're not floral, like they're kind of looking to make a positive message more often in like social environments than they are like watch out for potholes that I could step in because my whole life could be over. You know what I mean? Like they don't have that punch in the face kind of like long-term recall. That they're always like, yeah, let's watch out for that.
I think that actually, I think women are almost always acting from a place of floor watching. And so it's like, whatever they're doing, it's not like, when a guy's acting from a place of floor watching, it's like, oh, this is obvious. You know what I mean? Like, this is very like, you're like, this isn't like normal man behavior. But like, I think women are always like when they kind of like well, you're saying like they take control of the space and they kind of like set a certain vibe for it. It's like, I think they still do that from a place of security. They're like, oh, if we like set this tone here, then like I will be secure. I think they like do a lot more of what they do from a place of like protecting like security, like safety and security. Whereas men like, I think usually take behaviors more from like a opportunity of gain more than fear of loss, or are more prone to that. And I'm generalizing. Sure, there's like, you know,
I'm inclined to agree with you, except for I think socially that's where women are atypically more aggressive socially than
but I still think that they're like the primary motivation for that isn't like opportunity for gain. It is like a way.
I think it is.
It's their way of like raising their own floor and protecting themselves, I think.
I don't think so. I think that is like their general nature typically, but I don't think so when it comes to social. I think there is like, I'm trying to ascend. I'm trying to social climb a little bit.
Again,
I think that is
when they are trying to ascend, it's from a place of like, if I ascend, my floor is higher.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that's something that women are more particularly good at in the social climbing kind of way. Like, I just don't like when you hear about a story like a talented Mr. Ripley type of guy, like that character seems so like out of left field, where if a woman character is like that, it's like a very normal woman archetype where like, if she's a mover and a shaker, she kind of does operate in this weird kind of like manipulative, like, you know, she's like a spider with its web kind of thing a little bit more, you know what I mean? Like, I do think that women have a little bit more when it comes to social stuff, they're a little bit more aggressive, a little more offensive, like not offensive content wise, material wise, but making moves, a little more aggressive.
But I still think the motivation for that is safety and security, not like,
I guess we can't really know that, but
right.
I don't
no, I know. I'm theorizing.
Yeah. I hear you.
Worst.
Oh, I couldn't stand it at all.
These guys are the worst.
Then they tried.
We digress. You know, that was the whole diatribe on the nature of females.
I do disagree that those guys are the worst. I think if a guy's trying to smash, I'm like, look, your move is I would never treat a woman like that. My move is like, babe, please, come on, babe. We haven't done it in so long, babe. Please, babe. That's my move. So, you know, everybody's got their moves, is what I'm saying.
But they're just, you're kind of taking words, putting them in their mouth, because they're not saying like they're the worst. They're saying like they're the worst. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're the worst. Like, they just suck. That's all. They're not the actual worst. Not like in the rankings of all people. Like, there's Nazis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who are obviously the best. They're number one, right?
Number one, starting a descending order.
Right. Descending
then down to like dog catchers.
Dog catchers, right? Followed by people whose name starts with the letter Q, because there's just not that many of them. That's pretty high up there, I think.
Awesome, good stuff.
Trying to kick me out of the school because when Shane got in trouble for SNL, my name popped up in the byline because they had no clue. It was like a double life. I would go to social work school, like, because I just took out loans. I'm like, we'll just see what, you know, if the podcast works, I'll just pay off the loans. If it doesn't, I'll have a degree. And so it had been pretty contentious because my plan was like, dude, just go, keep it cool, don't say anything. And then, dude, you'd be in these classrooms. And like, I remember the one time this lady, and they're all like young, they right out of college. They'd come out and they'd be like, well, and I believe this was like unprompted. She was like, well, I would never personally call the cops on a black person ever. And I'm just sitting in the back of the room and I'm like, no one's going to say this is the craziest thing. And I'm like, what if he was beating a woman? And she was like, I mean, like, and like,
that's his culture.
Just that non-fucking stop. And I couldn't help it. So I would start saying stuff. The room would go into chaos. So like, I literally couldn't bite my tongue.
What if he was beating a woman? Then would you call the cops on him?
So that is a wild statement.
I respect his culture. That's his culture.
It's just so funny though. That is because everybody's heard somebody say something that's stupid, and you're like, I kind of get where you're coming from, but you're an idiot.
To be racist, you have to like to be not racist. You have to be racist. You have to be like, oh, I would never call the cops on a black man because I'm not racist. Well, what if he was beating a woman? Well, that's his culture. So you racistly think that his culture is to beat women.
Yeah, that is literally tied to them as a people.
Mental gymnastics where you're now more racist.
Yeah, no, this has been going on. This has been going on.
No, I did. So when was that cancellation? It was way more. He was doing this maybe 10 years later than my dad was. Like he's going through this quite a bit later than my dad was going through his MSW.
I mean, Shane would have been.
I was
like
trying to like comp this because I was like, my dad's pretty. Like I wouldn't have heard this. You know what I mean?
It would have been like 2019, right? Like something like
yeah.
that.
And I want to say my dad got his MSW in 2007. So
Microsoft
we're a pretty
Word.
big time gap here.
Microsoft Word.
Yeah.
And then eventually they found, once they already kind of had it out for me. And once that news came out about the podcast, they were like, we got him dead to rights. So then they like the student council, like, they didn't like me at all. They all kind of did a motion to get me kicked out. And so the teacher came to, or like, you know, the dean or whatever, who actually was nice. I liked her a lot. She like, I had a meeting with her and she was like, yeah, these people feel unsafe, blah, blah, blah. So I had to do them. And it was like unsafe, or they just don't, you know, they don't like what they're hearing. But like I had a meeting with like the board basically. Would you ever like fantasize about getting like defending yourself in court?
Yeah,
I got to do that. And I got to have like we got to like debate about whether or not I actually violated the code of ethics. And it was like kind of this gray area. So it was awesome. I recorded it on my phone.
Wow.
It's like an hour long. I never listened to it again, but it was like, because I was like, just in case they jam me up. The lady was like, you know, like, what would you do if we kicked you out? And I was like, dude, like, I'll make the most of that for sure. Like, I wouldn't want to do it, but I would just sue you guys, man. Like, you can't kick me out. I'm already like invested. Blah, blah, blah. And then COVID happened. So like, they were just hushed it all. I just got to finish online class. But yeah, they tried to give me the boot. And I remember the day.
Wow. Did they have a specific thing that they were upset about? Was it your association with Shane?
It was just that clip, that Chinatown clip came out.
Oh, wow.
And they just saw us like, I'm sure they like looked into other stuff, but they were like, he's making this place unsafe. We're not safe here. And I was like, shut up.
Yeah, podcasters and academia.
It was
Academia, that does not go together.
Also,
they're like, we feel unsafe because your friend did an impression of an Asian person.
Yeah. I know. They're like,
on
they're
your
literally
Patreon,
like,
by the way, I still, dude, the forget the Epstein files. If we ever find out who snitched on them from the Patreon, that's gonna be the real bombshell.
not a bro.
Not one of the dogs, that's for sure.
It was not from the dog pound.
No,
oh, dude, like I thought like having a master's, I was going to be around geniuses. It's like, they're not that smart. You go to a place with masters and PhD.
That is hilarious. When I think about being in a room,
my dad's got one of those things. I'm like, okay, so it doesn't take much then. You just have to work. You have to do a lot of work.
When I think about being in a room full of people that are like highly educated nowadays, like especially under a certain age, like under 40, let's say, I'm like, oh, intelligent, like highly intelligent wouldn't be in the first like 10 like traits that I would think of. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be like, this room's going to be full of, you know what I mean? I'm going to be thinking way more around like the social norms I know that they have in that kind of atmosphere, you know?
Yeah, interesting. I would probably still think of if you said highly educated, my brain still automatically goes to harder sciences. So I probably would think they were going to be smart, at least like nerdy about those things like math, science, technology, that kind of thing. But yeah, if it's any kind of soft science, I'm like, no, not smart. Had to go through a lot. Had to work pretty hard to get it for sure. Like I'm not denying that, but you don't have to be highly intelligent.
Yeah, I do. Like I just heard somebody put it like 99% of soft sciences, if like civilization restarted over again, like it would look completely different, which is like just obviously true. But all the hard science would be exactly the same. It's like, yeah, that's because that's what science is. I don't even know what these other sciences are. Like,
look, you can apply this. You can apply the scientific method. The scientific method's pretty smart because you can apply the scientific method to a lot of things. You can apply the scientific method to sociology and like, you know, observe societies with it. And it's like, oh, it works, right? Like the method itself is pretty smart. So then it's like, oh, that means anything we can observe, we can call science, which is, I'm really playing it fast and loose with the word science here, I think.
Let's get into some Joe Roganology here.
PhDs, half of them don't even like read anything. You talk about a book, like I never heard of that. And then they'd show you like Netflix. You're like, bro, I'm paying $60,000 for this. You're hitting me with a Netflix doc. It's like, this is $8 a month.
They were showing you Netflix docs in class?
Yeah, we watched a Netflix doc. One of the classes we watched like the 13th Amendment. And I was like, I saw this already. What the fuck, man? Like it's that like, I mean, I remember thinking like, damn, everyone was on Peterson's ass about this. He was totally right. Liberal arts colleges were like, I couldn't have thought of a bigger waste of money in terms of like bang for buck and like, what did I actually learn?
Well, I remember when we were talking about all the madness that was going on in schools, and people were like, why do you care about this? This is happening in college. I'm like, they're going to eventually graduate and they're going to have this ideology and they're going to get into corporations. They're going to get into business. They're going to carry this with them and try to enforce these crazy rules.
Or, somebody like your kid's having problems and you go to a therapist and they're just like psycho. Like we were talking about modalities of therapy. One of them, someone floated and the teacher was like, oh yeah, for sure. Was called like, I don't know what it was called. It was like activism therapy, where you get people politically active in order to like motivate them and enrich their lives. And I was like, you can't do that. You can't take.
Do you think therapists should use activism as an exercise? I think so. I think we should that's an interesting thought. How does that make you feel? Do you want to go march about it with me?
Yeah. Well, not with me. I'm not going to go with you. Marching sounds like a lot of work, but like maybe you could march about it, and maybe then you find some friends who also like marching about that issue.
It's a good point. I wonder if therapists are doing a lot of marching.
On their own time, not with clients. It really crosses a line to be marching with clients. You know what I mean?
Do you think
a little bit of conflict of interest? You can't walk. They got to lay on a couch and you sit on a chair. That's how it works.
Do you think therapists skew fit or not?
I only know one, so not sure. He's relatively fit for an older man.
That's fair.
I think they skew. You know what? I think therapists, if I had to guess, I think therapists skew skinny fat.
That's kind of what the vibe I'm thinking. Like they drink and stuff.
Yeah, or no, I don't think they drink now. Now I think
they have vices. They have vices.
Yeah, I think they're heavy into gummies. I think they're, you know what I mean? Like maybe some psychedelics, probably some psychedelics. I think they're like, they don't eat much, you know what I mean? But they're definitely not fit. They don't eat much. They don't exercise much. We got some skinny fat going on.
If I'm doing the same thought experiment, like I just entered into a room of therapists and I don't know anything else, I would kind of assume that most of them are like, I actually can live my life like that, Dad. Like that kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they're kind of like they've kind of like had to do some therapy on themselves, kind of thing. So
there is a joke amongst therapists that like they're all there because they need therapy, but none of them will get therapy.
Right. That checks out. That really does.
They usually have like trauma. Like my dad's got like pretty bad childhood trauma. A bunch of them have that.
Yeah, there was that trip to Chuck E. Cheese. We won't get into it.
No.
Confuse existentially adrift person and be like, this is what you need to do. Go
politically active?
I swear to God, dude, there was like really creepy stuff going on there. And it was all just like complete groupthink. You couldn't, like, if you said anything outside of like what was acceptable, you would just get punished. The teachers would kind of even like, some of them would try to like scold you or be like, yeah, okay, dude. And it's like, it's a lot. I could see it why it would just break people. Because I would like, my heart would be beating. I don't really like conflict like that.
Yeah.
But it was also like, dude, some of the stuff you're like, I can't not say anything. This is insane, dude.
Do you ever talk about this on stage?
No, I've never really talked about being in social work.
Leave it to Rogan. Like, of course, he's like, let's bring that to stage. That'll be hilarious. Like, of course, that's not going to be funny. And Joe would talk about it on stage.
Right. That's the bar for Joe. Is it, do I not like it? Then it must be comedy.
Yeah, man.
Do I not like it? No. Do I not like it? Yes, I don't like it. Is it funny? No. Great. Sounds like good material for my stand-up special.
In a way, I do hate what Joe Rogan has become, like the Joe Rogan experience at least has become, but it does feel a little bit like, well, when people put up the bat signal, you know what I mean? Like, but Batman doesn't feel like being Batman. It's like, well, you just still got to be Batman for people. I'm like, Joe kind of became what the world needed a little bit, but man, I do miss the like older school version. And like,
was he funny? Was he funny?
He was funnier.
Yeah. Okay. He'd still be the second funniest person on the podcast anytime there was another comedian on, but
he wasn't a buzzkill. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't that kind of stuff. Like he didn't get serious like ever really.
Well, he like notoriously misses jokes. Has he always done that?
No, because he's just in a different headspace. You know what I mean? That's why that happens. Like, and I don't think he didn't occupy that as much. Like he was a little bit more loosey goosey. I think he used to probably on average be 7 to 14 times higher per episode.
Yeah. 7 to 14 times higher.
Oh, easily, yeah. There was a long stretch.
That's like a big multiplier because
probably
he's not zero high on episodes now.
There was probably a stretch of like 80 episodes where Joe was averaging like 3 or 4 like volcano rips of his like whatever they call those things, the things that like fill up an entire like grocery bag size thing of smoke, and then you just collapse it all in. It's a gravity bong.
It's a different form of gravity bong.
And he would be doing those like hourly on the show, like just insane.
Yeah,
that's not the same show anymore.
No, it's not like that anymore. Those were the red band days.
Yeah, I miss them.
Oh my God, it's like there's gold in them dar hills.
It was fun. At that time of the podcast, I would leave school. And I come back to the podcast, like, bro, you won't believe what the fuck these people are saying. Like,
you say it on the podcast? Oh, that's awesome. It just seems like it's a great gold mine for stand-up.
Yeah.
Like that is when Matt and Shane's was blowing up too. It totally makes sense. Like the world needed that out.
Basically, he was like the inside man for what's going on in like a graduate social science classes.
Well, like while the other side is like in the colleges having their types of discussion, like the dogs have like are converging on Matt and Shane's secret pod. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's probably a similar.
Yeah, they're like, we got a mole over here.
Yeah,
the man. Like, we got a man coming back from behind enemy lines telling us what the man haters are saying.
What are the ladies doing? No.
What are the ladies up to?
Not today.
What did they say? That's what they're saying.
Like, because you have a very unique experience.
True.
Like, as a window into how crazy people are in school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it was terrifying, man. And then the weirdest part is like after years went by, they were like, "Do you want to get your PhD here?" I was like, "No."
After COVID,
after it all,
they just wanted your money.
Exactly. I saw that, and I was like, man, get the hell out.
That is classic college stuff. Like, why don't come back to Drexel for your PhD? He went to Drexel. I looked it up. It's like, yeah, I know we almost kicked you out, but we're a few below our quota for the PhD program, so yeah, probably want to come back for that, right?
In that program, we focus heavily on sunk cost fallacy. But yeah, you're going to need at least 4 to 8 more years of education, probably from us.
Yeah, at least, minimum.
Before you could ever possibly handle a job.
Yeah, we see that you're a famous comedian and podcaster now. I think that, you should probably have the right frameworks for thinking about the world. So maybe come back for your PhD so you can be educated when you go out there and talk to so many people who are listening to you.
Yeah. I like how he can pull out the black wife card.
Yeah, I'm so diverse, dude. My wife. I have both a woman and a black person in my house.
Hell yeah.
Sometimes I got 2 black people in there.
You're right, dude. Like gay dudes who are gay with white dudes are like the most like just sexist people.
Just a bunch of white dudes around here.
White supremacists.
I assume the original gay dude you're talking about was also white.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, it would
be nice to call yourself Dr. Matt, though.
Bro, don't think I didn't think about it.
Come on, dog. Come on, dog.
I know.
That just shows you how many kooky doctors there are out there.
That really opened my eyes. I thought doctors were like the smartest people in the world. And I went to like higher education. I'm like, this is fucking insane.
Yeah.
You could be a doctor, dude. Anyone could be, obviously, like anyone could be a fucking doctor.
Especially with some subjects, right?
Exactly. That's the thing. Not
hard sciences.
Not hard science. If you want
calculus.
If you want to be a doctor, you could go for like anthropology, whatever.
Yeah.
No problem, dude.
Yeah.
And they can't say shit. Like you can make your thesis on anything and be like, excuse me?
Well, did you ever see what Peter Boghossian and James Lindsay and Ellen Pluckrose did? Do you know what they did?
I'm a big Pluckrose guy. I know you're more of the Boghossian faction, but
right. I'm the Boghossian line of thinking is the Boghossian philosophy is really where I kind of derive a lot of my worldviews for sure.
Yeah, but it doesn't account for the Ferguson paradox. So like, I mean,
I think the DeRosian. So you got Boghossian, DeRosian, which is Joe DeRosa's philosophy, and I think that kind of between the two of them, I think that really covers what you're talking about.
No,
they made these fake academic papers.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
Like heteronormative something in dog parks. They were talking about like gay experiences with dogs have, and it was like a peer-reviewed paper. Fat bodybuilding was one of them. Yeah, and
do you remember this?
The gay dogs?
No, so basically these people were like to show like how far academia has gone. They started making a lot of the most like ridiculous like scientific claims they could do and have them like published and peer reviewed and like basically get the entire weight of academia like supporting some thesis that is like was some like the onion type, thesis.
Oh, got it. So like they did like gay dogs and body shaming and bodybuilding.
Yeah, they were doing like
there's not enough body inclusion. There's not enough like inclusion in bodybuilding. There's a lot of I've noticed that in bodybuilding, they seem to really be focused on the body, and there's just not enough. There's a lot of body shaming. If they don't actually shame any bodies, but like by having a judgment system, they indirectly shame bodies that aren't the best one.
Oh,
like,
you've seen this.
That was their point on bodybuilding. That's like, there's no fat bodybuilders. What's up with that?
John, you're supposed to tell me if you've already seen this one. That's the issue I'm having right now.
And they were like celebrated. These papers were celebrated.
Dude, it would go 100%. We the theory, like the critical race theory and all that stuff you cover, when you get into it, you're like, it was, and I remember like saying this, I was very like, it reminded me, because I'd been outside of Walmart, someone handed me like a pamphlet and it was like white supremacy literature. And when you read that stuff, you read the first two sentences, you go, okay, that sounds legit. And then there's this like huge quantum leap in reasoning. You're like, whoa, how the fuck did we get here? A lot of that's very similar, where they'll make a thing like no one can disagree with.
Right.
And then it jumps real quick and you're like,
just complete groupthink.
Yeah.
I do love that. They're like cool dumb people playbook 101, dude. Just like step A, step B with me, yeah? J. Like, yep, that makes sense. I don't want to admit I didn't get it. Like,
he's like, I remember they gave me a white supremacy pamphlet. It's like the first couple sentences make sense. It's like, white people rock, white people are the best. Like, yep, I'm with you there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty sick. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm white, and I rock. So that's I agree. Yeah, agree.
I think it was the opposite kind of pamphlet, but yeah, I don't.
Oh, you're saying I think he was saying like people handed him a white supremacy pamphlet.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think that's probably what happened. It was like a KKK recruitment pamphlet,
right? And they're like, "You look like a northern white.
Yeah,
we've got some literature for you."
Those are the most popular voices that you tend to hear.
Yeah,
they're big in the pamphlet game.
Yeah, ever notice how awesome it is being white? Yeah, I have noticed how awesome it is. Yeah. Don't you wish you could just find other people who understood you? I do wish I could find other people who understood you. Well, the problem is the blacks. What?
Preach, brother.
Yeah. But that was scary to be like, damn, dude, these people are going to be like, these people are therapists working with kids, older people, this and that, and it was just like, I was like, how is this the people supposedly like, guiding people through life, or like taking people who are lost or suffering and being, I don't know. It was kind of rough because the animus against a person who like thought differently, it was palpable and like very severe, to where it was like, dude. And the funniest part was like, I was in that high school in the inner city. It was the school was like 97% black, the rest Latino. And they were like, how would your students feel about your podcast material? I'm like, they don't give a fuck. They would laugh.
Hilarious.
They have bigger fish to fry than being like, what did you?
It's the most popular podcast on the planet.
Yeah.
On Patreon.
The other race kid, like high school. First of all, high school kids, about the most inappropriate jokers there are. Like, of any race. High school dudes, the most inappropriate jokes you'll hear. Okay. Secondly, all the other like not white ones think race jokes are funny usually. Like, I guess maybe I'm generalizing, but like that's been my experience.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Usually when people are mad about a race joke, unless it was just a really bad joke, it's like mostly white people who are mad about it.
Definitely. 100%.
You say on a podcast, it's like they're like high schoolers in Philly fighting for their lives.
How would your students feel?
That was the big disconnect. I'm like, you guys have like, I don't know, man. Like they would even teach you. This would crack me up. I was like thinking about this the other day, where they would tell you, if you had a client and say your client was black and I'm a white guy, I should lead by going like, how do you feel about the fact that I'm white and you're black? And I was like, dude, you guys realize you're in a classroom studying how to talk to a black person. I'm like, that's fucking weird. I was like, just talk to, like, you can just talk to them, man. And if that comes
get out
up,
there in the
you tackle it.
Right.
But like, you're uncomfortable.
That is wild.
Field trip, guys.
That it was. You gotta like. It's like, let's observe them in their natural habitat. Like,
yeah.
Look, there's a crackhead over there. Like that's. I feel like that's the.
There's one of them running. That's a natural habitat for them. They're good at it.
Yeah. Oh, there's one at the beach.
Oh, looks like one's
not
gonna go
going in the
swimming.
water
Careful.
though.
Look out! There's water right there.
Yeah, careful.
Don't fall in the river.
And then you're going like, so black person, how do you feel that I'm white? It's like, dude, that is, and they would push back against me. I'm like, no, you guys can't do that. That's crazy.
Well, you were actually applying it in the real world. They were just exhibiting. They were just hanging out in these circle jerks.
Exactly. And a lot of them would be like, I'm social justice, blah, blah, blah. And be like, all right, where's your field placement? That was like your, that was like your internship. And they're like, oh, I'm out in like the main line's like a really nice area in Philly. It's like, I'm doing like a high school in the main line. It's like, okay, dude, it's like, it's like, take that act somewhere else. And it's like those kids don't want to hear any of this shit, like at all. And I would like you to talk to them. Like if race comes up, I would talk to them. But like that would have been so crazy to take a black 8th grader and being like, I'm white. How do you feel about that? That would be so creepy and weird.
The black 8th grader's like, yes, sir. Yep. Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah. It'd be like, hey, what? Okay, I'll be Matt. You be the black 8th grader. You could probably impersonate a black 8th grader, right?
What up, fool?
Oh, hey, Jameer, come on in. Come on in. Have a seat.
Gang fam.
Yeah. Hey, can I get you something to drink, water, or anything like that?
Got any purple drink?
Yes, I do indeed have some purple drink. Would you like Kool-Aid or a Capri Sun?
Man, put some ice cubes in that motherfucker.
Yeah, okay, I got you. And just by the way, I'm white.
Oh, I'm uncomfortable as hell.
That's crazy to be like, first thing, like, oh yeah, nice to meet you. I'm white and you're black.
I'm your white nightmare.
Have you noticed? Did you notice that I'm more white and you seem to be not white?
If you just play a little different,
that's crazy.
You play a different background track to this. They're basically telling you, like, go in there and intimidate them. Go in there and tell them, like, do I make you uncomfortable, boy?
Yeah. All these other people in this school, they ain't white like me. All right.
Because you should be uncomfortable.
Now here's your purple drink.
Yeah. My race has been enslaving your race. Like that's great. Like to have that be like the background that you want painting the conversation.
Yeah, I do like that. It's like, how do you feel about? I'm white. How do you feel about that, huh?
This is like a video game.
How do you feel about it?
This is like a video game. You're making the game settings for your Madden game. Like you can choose to play in the snow or in the sunshine. You don't have to do this. You don't have to play with like racism written all over the walls. Like just like you got racial slurs written all over the walls in the background of the room that you want to have this conversation with this child in.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah. He's like, how do you feel about me being white? I don't know. You like being white? Is it cool? Seems cool. Is it cool being white? Pretty cool. I can't jump very high though.
He's like, shut up, pussy cracker. Pussy cracker actually is accidentally cool.
Pussy cracker sounds like a fun snack I would like to eat. Want some cheese? Maybe some like a soft cheese with your pussy crackers?
Throw some cheese on that bitch.
Isn't it crazy that they think you're obligated to bring that up? You have an obligation to discuss it.
Also, it's like they fucking know. They can see me. I'm clearly white. They know I'm white. And it's like, exactly. It's like, and if that, you talk, and then you can like bring it up because it's a thing, but it's like leading with that. I'd always be like,
the least of their problems.
Exactly.
They're just probably happy someone takes an interest in them and is kind to them.
Dude, and that was a big thing too of like, because you get them out of class and a lot of them, they'd be like, I'm fucking talking to this guy. So like, whatever. And I would just chill and be like, you can just do your homework. And then you just start helping them with their homework. Like, what are you doing? And then you eventually build rapport. But it was just like, I'm like, these are the teachers telling you this. And you're like, fuck, dude, you guys are guiding people into this. And it was, dude, I walked away from that being like, God damn.
I will say I am pretty impressed that Matt can help an 8th grader with their homework. I think if an 8th grader brought me their homework, I'd be like, you misjudged me. Even if it was a black 8th grader, I'd be like, yeah, I still probably can't do it. I know it might not be 8th grade homework normally, but
certain subjects. You know what pisses me off is back in 8th grade,
they
did not
brought me their math. I'd be like, what is this? I don't.
Well, what I'm upset about is I feel like there was some like not good level setting back in 8th grade, because they definitely made it seem like we should be putting most of that information into like the long term, like do not delete portion of your brain. And I really took that to heart. So I weirdly like remember a lot of.
I got that message. You really got that message around like 6th to 8th grade. Like, I need to know this. I need to remember all of this stuff. And I'm like, I don't think that's the message here. I think
that was my good boy autism. You know what I mean? Like that was just.
You're like, I need to know. I'm gonna need to know where like Ethiopia is on a map. I'm gonna be able to need to point to it with a map with no lines on it and say, there's the capital of Ethiopia right there.
I couldn't get the capital, but
yeah.
I mean,
but like, yeah, I need to remember the parts of speech and what they're named and exactly what they're used for.
Please, that's easy. That's child's play, literally child's play.
Dude, I remember we were doing parts of speech in 8th grade.
I mean,
like we were doing parts of it more like not like verbs. We weren't doing like verbs.
Here's the thing that's maddening for anybody with like a room temperature IQ in schools, at least like in our time. Because it was like No Child Left Behind kind of dumb shit, just watering down of everything. It was like, hey, has anybody else noticed we kind of do the same shit every like 3 years, just like kind of do it over again? Like this sucks.
We do maybe do it a little more. We maybe do a little more of it, but yeah.
Well, but everybody's like, this is new information to me. I'm like, it literally isn't though. Like it just never has been. You know, like you don't. I digress. We can't go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, well, like there's a little bit of building. So like right now. Like I do remember we had to do something with the states in 8th grade. We had to be able to not just name them all, but say which one was each or whatever. And maybe we needed to know the capitals. I can't remember. But like my daughter right now is in 3rd grade and she's just learning the list of states, like in alphabetical order. She doesn't have to be able to point to them or anything. So I'm like, I guess they build on it a bit, but like that seems 3rd grade to 8th. We're talking about 9-year-olds versus like a 13-year-old. And it's like, you remember how you learned that list for what was that math? Obviously my public education math is not kicking in for me here. 4 years. Remember how you learned that list 4 years ago? Like, let's put it on a map now. Like that's the jump. That seems like we could get further, you know?
Yeah. No, I think you probably zoned out a lot in that same time period. We did revisit it quite a bit every year. Still talked about it, but that's okay. You know, I'm not going to fault you.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't remember anything from elementary. I mean, I remember for sure, like I learned stuff that there's some kind of thing that happens where it's like, I don't really remember learning any of this stuff, but I clearly learned it because I have the base, you know, but like.
We basically flip-flopped lives. We almost like Freaky Friday'd ourselves like from then to now. Like we're kind of just.
I don't know that I remember much that I learned in high school either though.
Like then like 7th grade John would have thought Casey now is the man. And like Casey back then would have thought John was just the dude. You know what I mean? But we wouldn't have liked ourselves as much.
Yeah, we flip-flop. Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been like, that's how I end up. This is wholly disappointing.
You're like, but I haven't even done a drug.
He's got a dog in football gear on his wall.
Doing a lot of drugs, and I'm not doing any drugs.
Yeah, he's wearing a backwards hat. He's a 35-year-old man.
He's got a poster of a dog in a 49ers jersey behind him.
I already said that one, but you talked over me.
I'm sorry. I knew you said it, and I knew I talked over you, so I wanted to like. It was a good punchline.
Oh, thanks. So you want to cover my joke for me and get all the laughs for yourself. I see.
I wanted to credit to Casey. How do you cite a joke?
I would like actually be a hilarious bit. Next time you guest on a podcast, you should try to like stomp on the jokes of the other people and then tell the jokes like immediately after.
The kinds of podcasts.
And see if they even bring it up. See if they just go like, yeah, that is funny.
That was my joke. Yeah, that I just said.
Well, but they didn't actually get it out. So you play dumb like, oh no, I said it. You didn't. No. Like,
the kinds of podcasts I guest on, Casey, do not have jokes. There are no jokes. Nobody's making jokes.
They could though. You could get some good jokes in there.
Yeah, they're like, and he thinks manual bidding is the way to scale a Facebook ad account.
Ooh, what an errant way to approach that.
And when like you, so you say the manual bidding thing, and this is what I'll do. Go ahead.
And they thought manual building.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so I was last week I was running this ad account to like consulting with his client, and he thought manual bidding was the way to scale an ad account. That's what you're saying I should do. And then they'll just be like, but that's
bully. Good joke. They'll be like, wait,
that was gonna be my very hilarious joke.
Yeah, no, they'll mind fucking be like, wait, I must not actually said that. There's no way he would have just started saying that. Like, clearly I was gonna say, maybe I just thought that, and maybe we're just like, he's on the same page. This guy's funny. You know what I mean? You just have parallel thinking.
You get on the wavelength.
That's like, I kind of think that's how psychopaths work, right? Don't they do some kind of like mental fuckery like that?
They just can guess like the next 10 words you're gonna say, and they interrupt you and say them. And then you're like, shit, man, this guy's pretty smart. I don't know if you guys have heard how smart this guy is, but he's pretty smart.
It's David Blaine.
It's David Blaine.
John, make me laugh.
Okay, here we go. I think
make me laugh, funny man.
I think this is how we should treat PhD. This is we should make this a required course in all all graduate level programs for any kind of social science. This course right here is a required course, or this activity is a required. Oh, this is frozen. So just give me 1 second. I don't know what's going on there.
Performance anxiety.
You know, sometimes it just freezes up, and sometimes it freezes down, and that's the worst when it freezes down.
They make Rougiette for that.
Sometimes it freezes sideways. Dude, you've really been doing a lot of product placements in this episode. We're not. What are we doing?
I love the fish because it's so delicious. Gonna go fishing.
Pepperidge Farm does not.
I could eat them every day.
Is it Pepperidge Farm? That makes goldfish.
Oh, I don't know.
So I think that a lot of this would be fixed if we just made all of those like graduate students. Does it say Pepperidge Farm somewhere on there? Yeah, it does. Nailed it, dude. Freaking nailed it. Pepperidge Farm goldfish. If we just made this a required course right here.
Oh, that is cool. I like this.
Dude, this is an insane sport. No pads, Oklahoma drills.
This is how we should decide who's president. I'm so in on this. Like just some Dothraki shit, you know?
Yeah, it is, dude. It would for sure be some Samoan dude that goes down.
No, it wouldn't generate a lot of speed. That's the second half of momentum, you know?
I don't know, dude. There's some Samoan dudes who can move. Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, but there's some black dudes too. They're black people.
That last one was bad.
They get big and fast, John. I don't know if you've met black people.
That's true. We would basically end up with like The Rock or who's that actor who does the peck dance who used to I got the fries that'll cross your eyes.
Oh, Cheeseburger Eddie?
I got the shakes that'll make you quake. I got the burgers I just got burgers. Who's that actor?
Yeah.
He would
Terry
be a
Crews.
great candidate for president. I think he was president in Idiocracy, actually.
He was. Yeah.
No, I mean, this is basically how we get that.
That's actually like that idea is incepted already into people's brains that he could be president. I think from that. I mean,
anyone who plays a president, you're like, they could probably be president.
Right? It happened in Ukraine.
Yeah.
The dude literally played a president on TV and they're like, vote him in. We like that.
I think Kevin Spacey could probably be president, right? It seems like he meets all the standards.
I like the way the mouth feel of that. I could deal with this. Yeah, let's give it 4 years, see what happens.
President Spacey.
yeah, Spacey for sure.
Spacey 2028.
Dude, Oklahoma drills are sick. That is cool. I like that there's people doing Oklahoma drills that
without pads, just going head-to-head contact. Okay,
they are using a ball too. The ball's not even.
I know that's crazy.
Ball. Why do you even have
that dude? That dude didn't run. That dude used the tactic of like, that one. That's the one I'm talking about. That was crazy. Where the freaking spray comes off the back of his head. That was.
Yeah, it's a little nasty.
Also, the fact that this is sponsored by a crypto casino they've reached their demographic.
This is exactly, yeah. This
is incredible. Incredible targeting to meta win crypto casino.
Spike TV no longer exists, but it really does still. You know what I mean? Like that's Spike TV.
The internet is undefeated. Yeah.
Hey, separate, unrelated. Can you scroll 2 videos and let's watch that one?
This one? The urn? The licking?
Yeah, the urn.
Yeah, that's what you're paying attention to, right? Is the urn right there?
It caught my eye.
Oh, I turned off the sound. Sorry,
You son of a bitch.
And I just did my first. My name is Kara, and I just did my first boudoir photo session. I was terrified at first. Something like this is way outside of my comfort zone. Austin really made me feel safe and empowered during this whole experience.
My name is Austin. I've been doing boudoir photography for about 12 years now. It's very nerve-wracking for them to be in front of the camera for the first time. I make it my job to make sure that they feel empowered.
I did this as an anniversary present for my husband.
I had no idea that Kara would feel comfortable doing something like this, but hey, I'm not complaining.
Classic white guy joke. I'm not complaining. Know what I mean? Know what I mean, pal?
Urge my clients to bring a personal item, whether it would be their lover's favorite jersey, maybe a hat, anything that provides sentimental value.
Colin's always been obsessed with this vase in our house, and I thought that that would be really special to him. I can't tell you why, but he really loves this thing.
What the fuck? What? This is my dad's urn.
Yeah, it's the vase from the living room.
No, that's an urn. These are my father's ashes.
Yeah, I didn't realize that your dad collected ashes.
No, he doesn't collect ashes.
Before this, I don't think I knew what sexy meant. I'm an average woman. I'm not a Victoria's Secret model. Austin really helped me find out what was sensual about me.
That's my dead dad.
Have we just had your dad's remains in our house this whole time?
Yes, of course. Jesus Christ. All of these have my father in them. Where's the urn?
I put it back. It's fine.
It's empty.
I mean, they still might be in the vacuum cleaner.
The what? Where's the vacuum cleaner? Can you not, please? How do I do it?
You have to unhook it from the bottom.
How do I do it?
It's from the bottom.
Oh.
You know, he's still in there.
That's Dad!
They were really close. Well, I guess now we're all pretty close to his dad.
I like to think that what I do can really change women's lives.
Every woman at some point in her life should do a boudoir photo session.
That I love how that segued into a completely different bit of like when he said like, "Where's the vacuum cleaner?" That's the most male question of all time. It just turned into like
how do I you just got
from the bottom. It's from the bottom. Yeah. I have to ask Megan where the vacuum cleaner is every time I need to use it.
Once every 5 years, yeah.
Yeah. Roughly the rate, sure.
Yeah, dude. Anyway, yeah, I thought that was a good ad. Sometimes I just save good ads to show you. I wonder, dude, that would actually, if that guy does have a boudoir, like if that actually is an ad that's a great ad, actually, I think. Because it is just like an ad for the thing with a skit in the middle.
Also, for an urn company.
That's what you were thinking, probably. Yeah.
The urn performed well.
That's obviously what I meant. I didn't mean for a boudoir photo company. It's a horrible ad for them.
It looked great in the photos.
Yeah, I mean, it really outshined her, if we're honest. It was the first thing that caught your eye about the thumbnail was the urn.
It was very titillating.
Yeah, and I mean, since this has been a real chicky episode, a lot of chicks in this episode, I think we just do a little bit more, one more man stuff. Finish it off with Master Ken, our buddy, our good friend, Master Ken, with the world's most complicated gun disarm.
Someone points a weapon at me. First thing I'm going to do, turn my back. Facing him, he's got a lot of targets. Turning away, he's confused.
He's confused. And he's ready to shoot me.
Where am I going to shoot this guy? I'm going to do a very
I want to shoot him in the back.
Basic ukemi roll. As I do, my foot will make contact with the gun, knocking it out of his hand, like so. Now I have the advantage, okay? I can roll to that gun faster than he can run to it. So in order to acquire it, I do another ukemi, like so. Now I have the weapon. I do one final ukemi, striking him with the weapon, like so.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant. Is it over?
Master Ken,
Is that it?
Master Ken never disappoints.
Is that it? Is that it? Is there another
No,
punchline?
dude, no. This is the world's most complicated gun disarm, Casey.
Oh, okay.
Also, this man is no longer disarmed.
Well, he's got to re-disarm him. This is a 2-part disarm.
I think it might be more than 2 parts.
He hasn't done the signature move yet.
When he catches it, I can now move to my next disarm. He repoints the weapon at me. A lot of people don't know this, but the jaw is far more powerful than the hand, okay? So I don't want to grab the weapon with my hands.
Did you see him swallow before? He goes,
did not.
He goes,
I can throw him from here using only my jaw, like so. Now I move to my third and final.
He still has it.
Yeah,
Final disarm. Going to do a move called the steamroller. I become the steamroller.
The guy had to scooch to him.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good, Master Ken.
Wow.
The world's most, the 3-part, he disarmed him 3 times. Definitely the world's
How much
most
do I owe him for that, for watching that?
Yeah, I mean, dude, you are ready now. You learned the steamroller. You learned that the jaw was more powerful than the hands.
Man.
I don't even remember how he disarmed him the first time. Oh, it was
Man,
the ukemi roll foot contact.
Oh man, the ukemi rolls were just a thing of beauty.
All right. If you want more Master Ken, I guess you could just follow Master Ken, but don't do that. Follow us so you can watch him an hour in to an hour and 7-minute long video and subscribe to us and stuff. Bye.